All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're up here at Jimmy Britt, the amazing Jimmy Britt here in Statesboro, Georgia. Very kind of humid night tonight. You can see all the stuff forming on all the trucks, but we're gonna knock out a few videos. And this first one we're gonna talk about is a solution that I have in my mind, and I'm still, you know, we got this problem going on. All these trucks are on stop sale for Ram because they're waiting on modules, trailer brake modules. My truck included, waiting on a trailer brake module. But if that something goes wrong with my truck and my taillights go out and I can no longer drive that truck, I'm in trouble. Let alone the fact that I can't even use it right now to probably pull my boat, take my trailer anywhere, do anything with it because I'm waiting on that module too. And who knows, it might be 6 months before I get one. Just the way it is, but very upsetting. But it made me start thinking, and then we now hear Ford announced 4.3 million of the same problem they have on all their trucks. But fortunately for Ford, theirs is just a reflash. But imagine had that 4.3 million hit Ford like it did Ram. Oh man. And you got Chevy with all of their problems, Toyota with all of their problems. Okay, it's just an ugly world out there. And it made me think, what do we want from manufacturers and dealer networks to make us happy? Besides the warranty extensions, okay? Obviously, warranty extension is very important, but if they're gonna force us to deal with this part back order BS, because none of these brands are doing anything about it. Now, at least Ram is building those warehouses and they're gonna start doing something, but this back order thing has been a problem since 2020. And we're 6 years in from there and it's not getting better, it's getting worse, okay? Even the mighty Jeep, people are like, Jeep is garbage. No, Jeep's amazing, but even Jeep with the 3.6 Pentastar had that cam back order. You know, when it had that bad batch of cams, they had that problem and they were on back order for months. You know, this is the world. Toyota Tacoma, you know, 1 year wait on transmissions for the Tacoma. Look at the Tundra stuff. This is the world we live in today. What do we propose? What do we want and expect from manufacturers and dealers to solve this? That's what we're going to talk about. I want to see if you agree with me. Number one on my list, okay, if you are going to tell me that my vehicle is going to be down, okay, cannot drive, it's broke down for anything from a blown engine for Chevy or Toyota or for Ram for a stupid module, but if you're telling me my truck is down, it should be contractually obligated that they replace my vehicle with a rental of equivalent thing, okay? I cannot take my Ram Power Wagon and then you give me, you can't turn around and give me a little, you know, Dodge Hornet and expect me to take it in the woods and do what I need to do with it. I can't do it. So when you take my truck away from me and it's down, I expect an equivalently capable vehicle to be used as I used mine. Okay, so that means that if you're gonna loan me, it cannot be a two-wheel drive, you know, like we had one in here. There was one over here somewhere, that's not it, but there was a two-wheel drive Ram in here. You can't give me a two-wheel drive Ram 1500 because it's another truck. No. I need something that's four-wheel. I need a Rebel. I need a Warlock. I need a Power Wagon. I need something like that in return so that I can go do what I do and do the things I needed to do. And that's why I bought that truck. If my Colorado ZR2 goes down, if Tina's does, this is hers, my wife's, not mine. But if her truck goes down, and then they're going to turn around and they're going to put me in a two-wheel drive Colorado WT work truck style thing, it's not going to work for me. Or a two-wheel drive Canyon, it's not going to happen. I need an equivalent vehicle, and when I bring it back and the thing is covered in mud head to toe, might even have a couple little scratches on it or a little nick in the front bumper, it's not my problem. Okay, because I would do that to my truck all day long, and I should be allowed to. So that's my number one thing. Vehicle should match. When my truck is down, you should be giving me a loaner. And for the record, for you guys too, if you ever go to a dealership and for something and they're like, oh, we don't have any loaners, go to a different dealership. Don't accept that. Okay, I'm not accepting that. Number two, if they cannot provide me with, if the dealership, because that's a dealership trouble. Okay, because remember, once these vehicles are no longer owned by the manufacturer, they are bought by the dealership, you are basically dealing with the dealership on a lot of that stuff. Now, the manufacturer is the main dog behind the scenes when it comes to repairs, contracts, things like that, warranty obligations, but the dealership is the one that handles a lot of this other stuff. If the dealership will not supply me that said matching vehicle, and I have to go rent a vehicle that's doing it, I expect full reimbursement from the manufacturer. Okay, if they can't give me a truck that's capable, and I have to go to Avis or to Enterprise, I have to rent a Jeep Rubicon or a Gladiator Rubicon or something like that that will get me through and do what I need to do, I expect to be fully reimbursed for that process for the entire time it's down. And if it takes you 6 months because of a stupid trailer brake module that you had to pay for me to rent that vehicle for 6 straight months, that is your obligation and not my problem. That is not my problem at all. That's the things that I'm looking at right there. And while my truck is down and sitting there not being used and completely idle, I expect some reimbursement for the payments, okay? When I have a service for, like, say, my Amazon account, for my TV account, or for my Verizon account, or for my heat, anything like this, if the power goes out or if I lose that service, they will often reimburse you. You know, look, you were out of service for 3 days. We will reimburse you the payment, or we will deduct that 3 days worth of prorated amount that you did not have our services for from your monthly bill. We expect the same thing here too. If you're going to take my vehicle away for what would be a 2-hour-long fix, and you're going to keep it, and you're going to keep this vehicle dead in the water for a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 months, 5 months, and you're going to keep it dead in the water because of your problem, I expect to be reimbursed for the time that I do not have my vehicle or my payments waived during the entire time of that. Is that asking too much? Well, their attitude is, yeah, you can't ask that of us. But it says in there, they are contractually obligated to keep this vehicle on the road. And if you look at NHTSA, okay, if you go to NHTSA's website in there, it says that they are contractually obligated to have the repairs completed in a, what is the wording they use? You have to go to the website, in an appropriate amount of time. Okay, we don't know what that appropriate amount of time is, but I don't think 3 months or 4 months or 5 months or 6 months is an appropriate amount of time for repairs to be done. Okay, it's crazy. Again, look at, Rams on stop sale. Imagine if the same trailer brake module problem, like what Ford has, if Ford's had to have the module replaced. They're doing a reflash right now. Could be worse for Ford. They might have to do a replacement down the road too, but if it doesn't work. But right now they're doing a reflash. Imagine if they had 4.3 million Ford trucks that had to have a module that were on a stop sale. Imagine what that would do. Okay. Part back orders are a massive problem for all of us. And I don't care if it's a problem for the manufacturers. They pick this, like the grocery stores, day supply, short supply, only have available what you need. That's their fault. That's their manufacturing processes. That's their system. We don't care about that. What we care about is our trucks. And when you're taking our trucks away from us for stupid stuff that could be solved literally in an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or even a day or 2, and you are removing it from us on wait times like this, it is time that you guys, dealerships and manufacturers, step up to the plate. We are sick and tired of it. Do you know how much they're charging for these things, on these computers on wheels that fail all the time? Ford had 150 something recalls. Think about all the problems that these things have today and the astronomical amount of money they're charging. Well, they got to charge us that much because of this, and I don't care. And it's not just the truck. It's the loan terms, the interest rates, the back end profits, the add-ons, the BS. This is such an astronomical purchase, and we still do it. All right, let's hear a word from our sponsors here, LastFit. LastFit does a lot of great things, but here you're seeing them do some of their light bulb installations here. They offer LED replacement bulbs for pretty much every vehicle out there that has halogen bulbs, especially in the truck world with your Fords, your Silverados, your Super Duties, F-150s, Rams. They have bulbs that are going to work for you, and they're going to really improve your lighting, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to do it. Obviously, check your owner's manual and sometimes your state laws to make sure you're good to do it, but these are incredible upgrades. I've had LastFit bulbs in every vehicle I've owned, and they are a huge improvement in lighting. Currently even have them in my backup bulbs on my Ram 2500, which has LED headlights. So check out LastFit. They have excellent options for you for all your lighting needs, interior, exterior, everything you can think of. They got it. Check it out, lastfit.com. Because we love this stuff and we expect it to be on the road. And then when it doesn't go down the road, we are left kicked to the curb, last in line, uncared about, left hanging. And at the same time as all of our trucks are down and dead in the water, guess what still runs? The production line with all these new trucks. I'm not pointing at Ram, we're just at a Ram dealer, but I'm just saying, but all the new trucks, they're getting all the cool parts. They're getting all the neat stuff and keeping right on going because they can't stop that. No, but us customers that paid $70, $80, $90, $100,000 for our truck, they're like, yeah, you know what? We'll get to you when we get to you. We don't care about it. We're fed up with it. It's time they got the smack in the face. It's time they got a little hit in the wallet. Take care of us. And I wish some government agency, I do not like laws. I do not want more laws. I do not want more government involvement in anything in my life. I cannot stand anything government related. I don't want any part of it. But I do want a government agency to take hold of these guys and these manufacturers and say, no, here's what's going to happen. If you can't get the parts to them and you can't make this stuff work for them, then you will pay their payments while their vehicle is down. You will replace them with an equally equivalent vehicle to use during the time that their vehicle is down. And if said vehicle cannot be provided by dealership, manufacturer will pay for the cost of them to rent a said equivalent vehicle so they can therefore continue doing what they do every day. If you were driving this and you're a hotshot trucker and you're using this truck every single day to go haul campers all over the country and it goes down for a stupid brake light and they're telling you it's going to be down for 2 months, they better dang well be giving you another Ram 20 or 3500 so that you can keep doing your job. And if they don't, they should be allowed to be sued astronomically and get, and I don't mean class action where it's just the attorneys who get it. I mean, I think everybody should just be doing it. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with the crap we have to deal with the amount of money we're paying on this. I'm in kind of a bad mood with this stuff today. I've made 2 videos that are kind of negative like this towards the industry, but sometimes you're just pissed. Sometimes you're just fed up. And like I said, I see it in the comments all the time. People just spent $100,000 on a truck, and not only is it's got problems, they can't even get the problems traced, solved, or sorted. They can't even do it. They got a $100,000 truck in lemon lawed to get another one because they cannot get it fixed. This crap has to stop. Let me know your thoughts. This is my solution. Maybe somebody will listen to it and do it, but start taking care of us. Stop putting us on the back burner. We're sick and tired of it. We're the ones that are paying your bills. We're the ones that are buying your vehicle. And just like when we come in to buy this truck, as I say in every video, we control the deal. Okay, dealerships act like they're doing us a favor because we're trying to buy a product and they think that they're the only person that has this product. It's wrong. It's our money that is paying for these things and we have the right to buy them from anywhere we want to, which is how we get the best deals, and we can do that. It is time that manufacturers understand too that we are the ones that are choosing to buy these, and if they are not going to start treating us right when we're investing as much money as we are going to kick them to the curb. We are fed up. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.